Hello and welcome to an Ascendiant Media review. We're reviewing Doctor Who episode 7. Pyramid at the End of the World is what the episode is called. And first off, my opinion, pretty good episode. It wasn't the best, wasn't bad by any means. The previous episode I would say wasn't very good. Which kind of detracts from this episode a little bit because you think back in the last episode, but this one on its own was pretty good. I'm going to get to my big gripe right away, and that's why I'm wearing these. These sunglasses actually have a camera in them right here. I do not use them to spy on people. I use them mostly like a GoPro. For like fishing and stuff like that, like getting videos of that stuff. But by all rights, the Doctor's sonic sunglasses could have a camera in them and use similar technology to what we humans have come up with to treat blindness. And that is, they can take a camera and they can basically send that signal into your brain and allow people to see. It's new, it's very expensive. I think it probably doesn't work amazing yet. And I've actually seen one where it takes those signals and it transfers them into, it takes this little thing you put on your tongue and the thing pushes down, so it takes your sense of touch and it tricks it into sending sight, like those signals to your brain. But by all means, the Doctor should be able to have a camera right here on his sonic sunglasses. It's a little bit tough to say for me. And then just have like a diode, whatever it is that sends things in your brain, right here, and he should be able to see decent, at least, or even perfectly. I don't see how. I mean, I don't know if they didn't have their science or technology consultant with them that day when they're writing that, or they're just like, oh, but if you can see, we can't do this one scene, which is obviously what the whole blindness thing was about. Because the last episode, the blindness was a hindrance to the plot. He was trying to hide it for some reason. This episode, he's still trying to hide it. It's more of a hindrance. You're spending time on, oh, he's blind, instead of what's going on. But we'll move past that and get to the rest of the episode. We start out the episode with the whole last time on Doctor Who basically being explained in the conversation with Penny, and that conversation is pretty amusing. Like, oh yeah, the Pope came in, and then bursts in the Secretary General of the UN. He's like, oh crap, it's gonna be every time. And then we go into this pyramid is just sitting there, and of course the Doctor had some monologue that was, I forget what it was even about, but it was pretty interesting. I like how they kind of do that with Peter Capaldi. He's more of the philosopher Doctor, kind of. And we have this big pyramid there, so of course the Doctor shows up there. And of course right away it seems like a trap. Because they've been simulating Earth through its lifetime, trying to figure out when to take it over. So one thing they surely figured out is if we put something very big where it does not belong, the Doctor's going to show up. And then if we put it right in this area, this contested area, it's going to distract from it. And we also get to see we start out with the character Erica, reading glasses. We get this shown this chain of events that lead, these mundane things happening, coworker being hungover from drinking last night, which lots of us have done. Don't do it if you work with GM, whatever they were doing. It's happened to me, but my work is never anything life-threatening usually. But just these mundane things happening that lead up to this catastrophe, the end of the world, by something that's non-alien, which is something I like, because I can't remember there ever being something in Doctor Who that was a threat to the world that was non-alien, especially since the Doctor usually does not interfere if it's non-alien. Like, he's like, oh no, I protect you from things coming from outside Earth. I don't protect you Earthlings from you Earthlings, usually. Maybe if you mess with aliens and get involved with aliens, but I think that's a first that we've seen him save the world from something that was solely mankind's doing. Although we don't know if the monks were meddling and causing those things to happen. It just seemed like they knew they were going to happen, which I don't know if the Doctor would have been able to save the world if the monks didn't show up in the first place. Because it clearly wasn't on his radar, and it might not have been until it was too late. So the monks showing up in the first place and getting him to look for something wrong may have saved the world. And I'm not too sure what their plan was, if they were just had things so planned out that they have numerous ways to save the world from that event. Because if you remember, they didn't get rid of the bacteria that was gonna, I think it was a bacteria, they said bacteria a lot, that was going to kill off all life. No, they just gave the Doctor his eyesight back so he could get out. Which is clearly how they got consent, and that was an interesting idea, that the consent had to be for love. Because you can't most people never regret doing something for love. It's hard to regret that. Doing something for strategy, you can regret that, like, yeah, that was a bad strategy, let's make a new strategy. You do it out of fear, most people regret what they do out of fear almost instantly. It's, when you do something out of fear, it's usually not the best decision. So that was the only way, really, I saw them getting consent. I thought that it was going to come down to the literal last second and the Doctor was going to give consent. Which, I don't know, this works a little bit better, because it looks like next episode it's going to be like they've taken her over, like she's the leader of the world, it looks like, or something to me. Like, she has some kind of importance still. Sorry, I'm a little stuffy and sick. But it seems like they're going to have them pitted against each other somehow, which will be interesting. And it was nice that they, the Erica character was nice, that they had, I think the right word is little personality, but it was nice that they had her there. That wasn't really a factor in her character. She was just a scientist and just doing, her thing. Of course, her thing involved the end of the world, but it was nice to see that she wasn't casted, she was just cast in the normal role, which when you have diversity in casting, your goal should be to have when you're casting a minority, they're just another person. And that was, like in Star Trek, the thing about Uhura that really was groundbreaking was she was not a black person on the crew, she was a person on the crew. And only a couple, maybe